All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazal, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's Brother Shawab Mawan back at you with another lesson. All right, and this is just going to be a quick little video based on news updates. I had a whole bunch of updates on news pop up while I was speaking to my pops. All right, and I figure I use a couple of them to make a lesson. All right, but let's grab this first one. All right, it says mass bomb threats forces evacuations at multiple U.S. Let me open it up, Slovakia. Which it looks like, I don't know if it's two articles on it. I don't know if it's the same place though. All right. It says oh yeah. This is basically about the same thing because they were talking about lockdowns. All right, so it says mass bomb threat forces evacuations at multiple US state capitals. All right, this was 5 hours ago. Okay, Scripps News. And it says bomb threats prompt the temporary closure and evacuation of Capitol buildings in several states across the U.S. on Wednesday. Connecticut, Georgia, Kentucky, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, and Montana were among the at least 23 states that evacuated their state house offices and buildings in response to a mass threat email sent in several secretaries of state and state offices nationwide. All right, which this is just another tactic. All right, another tactic of Esau, man, to bring in agenda. Another way that he can bring in his agenda by mass bomb threats and you know all tying into them hacking into the systems and being able to email threats and all that. All right, it all goes in tie with the cyber attacks, man. All right, now they're talking about lockdowns, okay, which I'm gonna bring it out in the other article. All right, in these states, Connecticut, Georgia, Kentucky, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, and Montana, which that's only seven of them, okay, out of 23 states that had to evacuate from state house offices and buildings. All right, so here it is with they're coming with the what? The terroristic threats. All right, terrorism threats, being able to point the finger, okay, on anybody that's speaking on terrorism or anything like that. And most of all, it's always set up for the prophets, man, because at the end of the day, the prophets are the ones that are talking, all right, and exposing the media, all right, exposing that when these things happen to these different nations, that pretty much it's all scriptural and biblical prophecy, man. All right, and they don't like when you speak like that. They'll consider you a terrorist for speaking like that. Leave it up to Esau. Okay. Let me see. Let me go to the other one that was there, right? The other one was where is it at? It says multiple state capitals locked down and evacuated after oh Salakia, hold on. Stupid ass ad came up. All right, it says bomb threats that led to evacuations, lockdowns in multiple state capitals is a hoax. All right. Yeah, leave it up to them coming with that too. All right. None of this shit is a hoax. You're gonna start. We're in crazy times, man. We're in times of trouble. All right. You best believe there's all types of bomb threats and things like that being leaked out. All right, because you got these nations that are starting to turn against America. But it's funny because if it was a hoax, why the hell would you even bring it out on the news for then? What's the point of it? Okay. They'll put it in your face, right, for a second, for a couple hours to tell you all these evacuations and all this happened out there. All right, but then next thing you know, an hour later, they want to tell you it's a hoax. All right, that's just to keep you in that loophole, man. Keep you wondering. This devil is his biggest weapon of mass destruction is to do what? Is to put fear in you. All right, so he'll bring out these articles, and when people read that, they get spooked out. All right, which you should be spooked out, because we're in the time that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is about to bring straight judgment upon these people, man. Let me see what else they got in here. Actually, you know what? Oh man. Oh look, this is another one. This is solar storm to hit Earth hard, causing radio blackouts. You see how all these things go in hand with each other. All right. Now you're talking about solar storms that could take out your radio. All right. That could cut out the lights, cause blackouts. On top of that, we're hearing about all these cyber attacks, and they're able to send emails and death threats and all that. So, like I always say, man, Esau has a million ways he could bring in his agenda, and he's going to use every single one of them, man. They literally have every aspect of life down to a T. Okay, so they're able to, fool the masses with them instilling fear in you, man, with these stupid ass articles, man. And they're not stupid, because these things are going to happen. All right, but there's nothing that Esau is doing that is going to help us prepare for anything like that. Let me see. What else they got here? It says migrants not welcome in New Jersey. That's where I'm from. All right. And that's funny, because we have what? You got all these migrants that are coming from all over the world, invading the United States. Here it is that America is allowing them, okay, to invade the United States. But meanwhile, they're not welcome in certain states and things like that. It's to cause that sedition among men. Is to cause up the people to amp themselves up for civil war, man. It says Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, among dozens linked to Jeffrey Epstein's Jeffrey Epstein documents. No wrongdoing alleged. No wrongdoing alleged. As soon as you hear Jeffrey Epstein, you should be thinking all types of crazy ass shit this damn devil be doing. All right. Slakia. Let's see what else we got here. It says discontinued foods. 5 foods you can't get in 2024. All right, and Lord willing, you ain't gonna be able to have access to any of these foods, man, because that famine is coming. All right, it says discontinued 5 foods you can't get in 2024. Dunkaroos, TAB or Tab, and the Choco Taco are some of the more well-known food items that Americans have waved goodbye to. Good. Shit is irrelevant as hell. All right, because all we do is eat defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, man. Everything that we eat in right now in this society is straight poison. All right, from your fruits to your vegetables to your meats to your snacks to the things you drink. Every single one of them, all right, are all designed, okay, designed with technology to destroy your body. That's why the Lord tells us not to be defiled with the king's meat. We have dietary laws, man, according to Leviticus, all right, to be abiding by. All right, you abide by those, you'll have a healthy diet. It says, but every year as companies introduce thousands of products to the market, yeah, see, they get rid of these old products just to bring another product and another product of bullshit, which is pretty much the same product with a different name on it. Okay, and a lot more chemicals added to it. It says, but every year as companies introduce thousands of products to the market, they're removing hundreds more from circulation. All right. Stupid ass shit. Maple Cheerios, Girl Scout cookies. This is how you know America's done. Here it is, we're in the middle of war. We're in the middle of the dollar collapsing, and all they could do is give you some information about, 5 discontinued foods, okay, that you can't get in 2024. Like we care, man. There's gonna be a whole lot of food you ain't gonna be able to get in 2024. Okay? Because what do the scriptures tell you, man? 2nd Ezra 6-22. All right. Suddenly the sown places shall be unsown. These places that have business, that have food and have the necessities that you need. All right. You're gonna finally find these stores unsown. They're gonna be empty. Storehouses empty. You're not gonna have no access to them. Then you're gonna have the looters come and take over, break everything into pieces. Basically making the martial law troops coming quicker. All right. Let's see what else they got in here. The shit you read. Bruce Willis. Retarded. Let me see what else. I have got another one that says, this damn phone stop acting up. I did have it. I don't know if I think I just moved it. Damn. This is RT News. All right. It says, as the new international order takes hold, what can we expect from China and the rest of Asia in 2024? All right, let's see what they got in RT News. All right, it says the U.S. has managed to fuel conflict in Europe. Leave it up to the U.S., right? Has managed to fuel conflict in Europe, but states further east aren't as willing to play Washington's game. It says the formation of new international order is inevitably accompanied by a conflict between the powers seeking to preserve their status and rivals whose development determines the creation of new rules and customs of interaction on the world stage. All right. Yeah. And that's the funny part about it, that you got these damn nations thinking that they're next in line to rule, man. Ain't none of you nations next in line to rule. All right. America's going to be brought down from its rulership. All right. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. The only ones that got next is the Hebrew Israelites, is Yahushua, man. That's who got next. Ain't no other power about to raise up. Okay? Y'all had your little fun of trying to raise up and playing chess with each other, man. The Lord about to take y'all out. About to take both of y'all queens out. All right? It says, the military and political conflict between Russia and the West, as well as the gradually accelerating confrontation between China and the U.S., determine the central position of Greater Eurasia and Asia in international politics. This is first and foremost because this vast region is a space where stability and development are important for Moscow and Beijing. All right, yeah. And what do you think they want that space, man? All right, they want to be able to develop more of these smart cities, all of that. It says, while crises and conflicts are highly desirable for the United States, while crises and conflicts are highly desirable for the United States, exactly. All this destruction is going to come to Babylon the Great. Okay? It says, and its European satellites, the year 2023 has shown that Greater Eurasia and Asia have so far been resistant to the negative external influences that are having the most dramatic consequences in Europe and the Middle East. Okay, it says the fact that there are no opposing military and political alliances in Asia and Eurasia, and that the so-called geopolitical fault lines exist only in the imagination of particularly impressionable readers of American newspapers is due to the pure, pure, peculiarities. Peculiar, peculiarities. That's a crazy ass word, boy. Peculiar is in there. All right. It says is due to the peculiarities of this space's political culture, Slovakia. It says, but also to the general trends of international life at the present time. Firstly, although this macro region has its own experience of resolving interstate contradictions, conflict as the best way to achieve goals is not a central part of its foreign policy culture. In other words, where Western nations like to take up arms and see the solution to complex situations and confrontation, Asia and Eurasia prefer to resolve disputes peacefully. Oh, here goes that peace and safety again. Okay. It's not that the Lord said there's no peace coming to the earth, man. All right. He said, what? Think not that I come to bring peace upon the earth. I come not to bring peace, but a sword, man. The Lord is coming to divide. All right. Divide the sheep from the goats. All right. The elect from the wicked. Okay. But he's also coming to divide just nations in general, man. All right. And the simple fact, mostly he's coming to divide Babylon the Great. What does the scripture say? If Satan cast off Satan, shall that kingdom stand, man? Shall that kingdom not be divided? Okay. That's the division that the Lord is bringing upon this place. It says, secondly, the emerging associations of states is Asia and Eurasia are not aimed at achieving aggressive goals against third countries. They are primarily aimed at achieving their members' development goals and maintaining their internal stability. Therefore, there are no alliances in Asia and Eurasia that are created to ensure the privileged position of their members. Visa, vis-a-vis, I guess that's saying vis-a-vis the rest of the macro region. Thirdly, there are no relatively large states within the macro region that would act as agents of extra-regional actors. The only countries that might be exceptions in this sense are Japan and South Korea. It is true that they have limited sovereignty and are dependent on the U.S. for their basic security. But even in the case of Japan, achieving its development goals and acquiring the necessary resources is not absolutely dependent on an aggressive policy towards its neighbors. This is unlike the European Union, whose leading powers were interested in cornering Russia and gain a monopoly monopoly access to its resources. Finally, the comparative resilience of Asia and Eurasia to the challenges of destabilizing interstate relations is due to the fact that all the countries of the macro region belong to the global majority. They share common strategic goals, even if the specific tasks required to achieve them may differ. In other words, if we divide the international community into groups of countries, those that parasite on the rest and those that rely on their own resources, natural or demographic, we will not see representatives of the first group in Asia and Eurasia. This makes their interests common, even if their methods of achieving their goals may be different. At the same time, as the major events of regional life in 2023 have shown, Asia and Eurasia are not free of central internal contradictions, the resolution of which is an important task for interstate cooperation. It says among these contradictions, they relatively difficult relations between the world's two demographic giants, India and China, are at the top of the list, despite the new Dahlia and Beijing are highly capable of taking their conflict to the stage of systematic confrontation. The existence of a border problem plays a significant role in the regional cooperation in general. All right, which this is a long ass one, and I ain't gonna read that, the rest of it. All right, but basically, it's looking like what that Asia and Eurasia. All right, they're trying to agree with being against war and things like that, trying to bring the peace side of things, man. There is no peace coming to this place, man. All right. And at the end of the day, every single one of these nations is going to be at war. All right. The Lord is gathering the nations together to destroy them. Oh, man. There we go. Let me see what else is in here. Salakia. If y'all just got here, just updates I'm running through different news break and running through RT News just to see what they got. 34 minutes ago, it says U.S. had no role in Iran terror attack, State Department. An hour ago, Putin sends condolences to Iran after terrorist attack. It says the U.S. can't stop China's rise, but it will cripple the EU while trying. See, it will cripple the EU while trying. That's why they're going to end up having these nations come up against her. All right, it says Washington sees no sign of genocide in Gaza. As the international. No, we just read that. Yeah, it's just a bunch of. It's a lot of international shit going on, man. All at once. Russia and Ukraine conduct major New Year's prisoner exchange 9 hours ago. I guess they were giving prisoners, they were exchanging prisoners on New Year's instead of celebrating. It says the United Arab mediated the release of almost 250 Russian servicemen. All right. As a matter of fact, now that I'm hearing that, I forgot what article I seen it earlier. I ran across it. There was I think it was like it might have been part of that Iran thing. The Lord brought heavy judgment this morning, man. It was like 400 people at once. All right. Which, you know, we constantly keep telling you, man. Zephaniah 3 and 5, the Lord is a just power, man. Every day he brings his judgment to the light. All right. And it's only been what? We're in 3 days. 3 days into January, and all this crazy ass shit, all this mass death, all these earthquakes in diverse places is happening all over the place, man. And it's only 2 days in, 3 days into this year. We got a whole 12 months, man. Yeah, that's just crazy. Yeah, it was part of that Iranian terror attack. Almost 100 killed. Landlocked African states port plans blocked. Yeah, the rest is a bunch of nonsense. Okay, which at the end of the day, all this news be nonsense. All right, the only news that we supposed to be putting our mindset to is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's news, the good gospel. All right, the great tidings, the glad tidings that's coming toward our people. All right, but yeah, that's pretty much the point. I just wanted to, like I said, I was talking to my pops and a bunch of news break, new updates were just popping up. So I just said, let me go off whatever pops up. All right, so that's pretty much the point. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol Haloyim La, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquat that was listening in. Yahweh, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Lord willing, in a little bit, I'll do another lesson. All right, Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Barakatah.